I've heard we are given information from the next dimension when we are ready to receive it. And we don't get to decide when we are ready. Lately I've been wondering how much longer it will be before I'm ready to receive more information. That question was answered recently, and I'm so grateful, as I feel like I've been on a plateau for a very long time. I had 3 very pertinent dreams in the last few days. The first dream was about a railroad track. A railroad track has 2 rails that run in parallel to each other. And they seemingly go on forever. In my dream, there was a bicycle-type seat above one rail, with no boxcar around it. It was in the open air. There was no train engine and no boxcars behind. And there was a bicycle-type seat above the other rail too. So there were 2 bicycle-type seats, one on each rail, beside each other. My husband sat on one seat and I sat on the other seat. We began to move forward on the railroad track, together. We traveled along the track until we came to a railroad yard, where many large traditional trains with boxcars sat. As we approached the railroad yard, I noticed our tracks ended by fading into the dirt. While in the dream, I didn't understand what this meant. Now, 2 days later, I think it meant we were reaching our final destination and would be leaving this earth. However, in the dream, as we approached the end of the rails, each of the 2 rails began to rise up from beneath the dirt. And the rails continued to reveal themselves as we reached the end of the rail. In other words, the rail path revealed itself from beneath the dirt each time we neared the end of the rail. Our path revealed itself as we traveled on it. And it never ended, it just kept creating itself in front of us, by rising up from underneath the dirt. The crystalline world, merely a vibration away? This happened for a few minutes and then it changed a bit. I looked around as we rode along on our rails. When I looked back at the track, I now saw 7 people on the outside of the double rails, and they were pulling the earth back to reveal the rail path to us. My husband and I have parallel life paths, we are going to same place. And we have 7 guardians or guides, between us, who reveal our path to us, as long as we stay on the path. If we go off the path, they stop revealing the path to us. Why would we need our path if we aren't going to follow it? The guardians and guides will continue to reveal the path if we return to it. Your path in life is your own. It belongs to no one else. And you can choose to walk on it or choose to abandon it. But you have to ask yourself what is easier, walking in a forest that has no path or walking in a forest that has a path. You could answer you could walk a forest without a path, and that is called exploring. And that would be accurate, but not helpful. Your path is meant for you and you alone. No one else is going to walk on your path, because you created it when you created your life plan before you were born. So walking your path is exploring, because you are walking where no one has ever walked before. But, you are doing it without suffering. The path is paved, all you have to do is walk on it and it will reveal itself in front of you. This is an example of how this works. Our daughter lives 40 minutes away from us. She is always creatively busy with her performances and jobs, so when she invites us to visit her, it's always uplifting. As I drove there with my husband and we approached the final turn before arriving at her place, I noticed every single traffic light on our trip was green as we approached it. We didn't have to stop once on a very long road trip. We must have passed at least 25 traffic lights on our travel there. Absolutely nothing blocked our path or caused us delay. I only had to slow down on turns, but I never had to brake the car to a stop. The entire trip we were in the most uplifting, loving state you could be in, which in my reality is the same as being in a very high vibrational state. This is another example of what it's like when you are on your path. While planning a video about the violet fire, my husband and I discussed having a dancer perform with violet fabric. We owned a green screen, white screen studio at the time. At the end of the planning meeting I said we need to find a dance troupe and offer to do a free video for them, in exchange for one of their dancers performing with violet fabric for us. This brought great love and excitement to both of us. I stood up and crossed the room saying we just need to find the dance troupe. As I reached the other side of the room, my cell phone rang. It was a dance troupe looking for a studio to hire to create a dance video for a dance competition. This manifestation took less than a minute to happen, once we stated, out loud, exactly what we needed. For us, the three key ingredients behind this manifestation were a very high vibrational, loving and excited or passionate state, a clear intention, our goal being in alignment with our path. When you're in that high vibrational state, the road is paved for you and you can accomplish great things without suffering. I had another dream where a massive land tsunami appeared. It was about 70 feet high and was made entirely of dirt, earth. It moved exactly like an ocean wave would move. And this wave was not at the beach, it was far inland. I merely saw the wave, I didn't see it crash, nor did I feel it under my feet. This wave was a symbol of earth moving. I think it refers to the saying the earth moved. When we refer to the earth moving, it's referring to an event that shakes your entire world, figuratively not literally. This is not an earthquake-type moving of the earth, it's an epiphany-type moving of the earth. It's an earth-shattering personal revelation. This earth-shattering wave is coming and it will impact everyone and everything on the planet. No one will be able to deny its existence and impact on them. It will cause everyone on the planet to call into question their entire belief system, unless of course you've already done that. The crystalline world, what will it be like? The third dream I had was about what our world is going to become, due to the massive shift that will take place. In the dream, my daughter, who is a talented vocalist, was walking with me in the park. She was 10 years old. We came to a stage and paused there to look around. She got up on the stage and began singing, which drew a large crowd. All of the seats in the audience filled up. I sat at the front of the audience and watched her sing. When she sang her second song, she was 15 years old. Then she was 20 years old when she sang her third song. Then the 40-year-old version of my daughter came to me and showed me a huge brick of money. I'm guessing there must have been $250,000 in that brick of money. She took it and put it under her own seat. In this dream, my daughter was able to change how old she looked. She could look any age she wanted to look. And she created abundance, symbolized by money, for herself doing something she loved. The crystalline world, and life expectancy. A scientist has stated the first person who will live to be 200 years old is alive today. I'm going to build on that idea. If this is true, then it may mean there are many people alive today that will live to be 200. If that's true, then our life events timeline will change. Real puberty will be 30 years old and real menopause will be 90 years old. That means women will have their first child at age 50 or 60 instead of age 30. But we won't look like we are 90 when we are 90. Instead we will look whatever age we want to look, for our entire lives. My dream about my daughter's age changing throughout her performance showed me we will be able to change how old we look. This is why our rails on our life paths extended beyond their end in the railroad yard. Our life paths are going to extend, as long as we keep on them. The end of all of our paths is going to be extended, to 200 years. This is the earth-shattering, earth-moving epiphany we are going to have, when the next energy wave hits the planet. Imagine how it's going to make people feel when they find out their minds and bodies can be returned to a younger, stronger, healthier state? And imagine how they are going to feel when they find out they have another 100 years in front of them, all to be lived in a state of health, strength and happiness. This is an earth-shattering revelation. It will feel like the earth moved right under your feet. The crystalline world, my vision of it. If you removed the rainbow cloud in the photo here, I saw the white streak of what appears, to me, to be a comet trail. In reality, this is probably a plane with a trail. I was awake and in the backyard when I saw this white trail in the sky. Again, to me it looks like a comet. It disappeared right in front of me while I was looking at it. Then it reappeared in exactly the same place. It did this 6 times in total, each time it was in the exact same place. It didn't shift position in between disappearances. Anyone can attach an explanation as to what this streak is, but nobody can explain why it disappeared and reappeared 6 times. If you believe in the new hidden technologies, then perhaps a cloaked spacecraft passed between my eyes and the white streak 6 times. A few months earlier, my husband was watching the night sky to see meteors, Perseid. Instead he saw a series of 14 triangular-shaped spacecraft pass over our house, one every minute for about 14 minutes. They were cloaked, so he could only discern their shape by the displacement of the air they caused. And they appeared to have very dim lights on their edges. Strange things are happening in our world. This is my vision of the new world. The planet, Gaia, becomes a crystalline planet. Gaia raises up in vibration and the clouds become rainbow. So on a cloudy day, the entire sky would look like a rainbow. The weather would stabilize and become temperate worldwide. You could sleep outside on the grass if you wanted to, without a blanket. Everyone would have control of their DNA, bodies, mind and soul. You could look as old as you wanted to. And you would feel young, even if you chose to look old. So you would be healthy. Illness and injury would no longer exist, because anything could be healed by going into a healing chamber, for serious injuries, or you would be healed by having a group of healers place their hands on you. Advanced technologies that already exist would be given to us. Those technologies have been here for a long time, but have been hidden or withheld from us. One of them is a plasma machine, also known as a replicator. The plasma machine is similar to a 3D printer, but instead it transforms plasma, which is an unlimited supply all around us, into anything we want to have. For example, if you wanted an apple, it would convert plasma to an apple. The crystalline world, the end of suffering. Since everyone would be physically, emotionally and spiritually healed, no one would want to commit a crime. People commit crimes due to mental illness, lack, want, etc., but we wouldn't have lack or illness. So the motivation behind crime wouldn't exist. Another advanced technology that would be released is portal travel. The portals have always been there, but we couldn't see them. And we didn't know how to use them even if we knew where they are. Not only will we learn where they are, we will also learn how to use them. This will make intercontinental, and interplanetary, travel easy. We will be able to travel between the continents in minutes instead of hours. I've based this portal travel part of my article on a dream my daughter had. She described the dream as the most awesome experience ever. In it, she flew to the edge of Earth's atmosphere. Then she traveled through the portals to distant continents, all in a matter of minutes. Since we won't have to work, we will be free to pursue what makes us happy. Art, music, carpentry, writing, travel, sports, games, gardening and anything else creative and enjoyable is what we will do. We will be able to explore every part of Gaia, without fear of being hurt. So we will be able to visit sacred sites, learn our true world history and enjoy all the natural beauty this planet has gifted to us. In other words, we will be able to live on Gaia in the way we are meant to live. Every day will be sheer joy and ecstasy just to be alive. New language, animals, colors, sounds and plants would come about. Animals would no longer eat each other, as we would get most of our energy and nutrition from the sun. Eating wouldn't be necessary, it would be optional. So everyone would be a healthy weight. And animals would have equal rights to humans. The lion would truly lie down with the lamb. Clearly we would no longer eat animals or refer to them as pets. The ocean is a symphony of music, which we can't hear right now. We will be able to hear that symphony in the crystalline world. The crystalline world, a family reunion? And we will be reunited with our star family and some members of our Earth family who are waiting for us in the 5th dimension. Not everyone we love who has already left this planet will be waiting there for us. Some are not ready for this shift and they will not be there to greet us in the crystalline world. Some will move onwards to another 3D reincarnation. But that doesn't mean we won't see them again. There will be no borders, although we will continue to refer to areas by their country names. Peace and harmony will prevail. But the most important part of our lives will be taking care of our home. We will take care of Gaia the same way we take care of our own children. We will cherish this planet we call home to the point where we won't be able to distinguish where we end and the planet around us begins. And we will cherish each other. We will truly be one, not only with each other, but with Gaia herself. It will be the end of duality and separation on Earth. This will mark the golden age of the crystalline world of oneness.